Hello and welcome to another episode of Book Raider, where I review books that I get or take out from the library. My new book, which you can't really read, is The Doomsday Calculation by William Poundstone, author of Are You Smart Enough to Work at Google? Probably not. This is how an equation that predicts the future is transforming everything we know about life and the universe. So a good book. It's actually a pretty quick read. And it's coming from me. I am a slow reader. Yeah, slow reader. We'll go with that. Anyways, what this book about is just looks at this equation that was developed about, 300 years ago by this obscure British member of parliament or something. His name's Bayes. I didn't write the book, so, anyways, Bayes created this Bayesian equation, and it's about trying to understand ultimately how much time we have left as a human species. Uplifting stuff. The answer, just look at the news, right? Which actually I recommend you don't watch the news, but that's my personal take. I try not to watch the news because it's just like, I don't know. It's trying to get to here. That's an aside. Anyways, so this book is about looking at things and trying to understand, as I said, as a human species, how much time we have left. The Doomsday Equation, right? Do we have 5 years or do we have 5 million years? Well, according to the Bayesian equation, B-A-Y-E-S. Remember, I'm reading this book. It's not an audiobook, so I don't know how you say it. But he's saying that what Poundstone is saying is that you look at a self-sample, and we use ourselves as a sample to try to understand where we are at in history. If I look at myself, well, I was born in October 1989. A month later, the Berlin Wall fell, ending ultimately symbolic at the end of the Cold War. And that was all before I could remember anything. If I look at myself now, I'm 32. The internet is rampant in providing us information that we consume daily, readily, hourly, minutely, secondly. And just looking at that and saying, okay, so here's where I am, 32 years old. Where am I in my life? Where am I in my life cycle? Am I just getting started? Or am I close to the end of my life? And you just heard my child screaming in the background. So I'd say I'm before the halfway point. Hopefully I have a long life ahead of me. Anyways, again, in this equation, it looks at the Copernican values. The astronomer who said that, we were an ordinary planet orbiting an ordinary sun in an ordinary galaxy is kind of what his idea was, the Copernican values, that we're just ordinary. And this book again examines that, are we ordinary or are we extraordinary as a species? And if so, what does that mean for our longevity on this planet? How long will we be here? Will we destroy ourselves? And again, back to the news bit, you got global warming, social upheaval. These are the themes that they project on the media, complete political upheaval, and just, it's an embarrassment. Anyways, it looks at that. And then the author says, are times as bad as we think, or are we just getting started? And what are the real things that we need to worry about, such as extraterrestrials or artificial intelligence, asteroids hitting us, global warming? What is it that we have to worry about? And the author goes on to suggest that, well, we're still here. Nuclear weapons have been invented. World wars have been fought. Pandemics have happened before. Are we going to make it? And the author seems to suggest that we most likely will. He seems to give the number that we have at least 750 years left in human existence. And he even kind of jokes about that, like, whew, so many people are relieved to hear that, but still, is that a lot of time? Who knows? What will happen as a species? Will we travel on to other worlds and colonize, terraform, and continue to spread and develop as a species? These are all questions that this book looks at. So it's a fun book. Fun. I enjoyed it. I don't know, like, look at the name Doomsday, reading that one on the train or something, like, might freak some people out. A number of people ask me, like, is this a religious book? I'm like, there's elements of that in there, but not quite. Anyways, the Doomsday Calculation, I keep saying equation, by William Poundstone. Great book. And my favorite part is kind of right here, the beginning. We'll go on the page. There's this picture. This is my, one of the coolest parts of this book. There's many cool parts of the book, but it opens with this. So you have a tree here, and you have a rocket here. And over here, you have people planting a young spruce sapling. I think that's a spruce tree, symbolizing just mankind and how we develop. And to me, it speaks of, do we know our limitations, right? And a tree can only grow so far. It can't grow into space. And here's this rocket about to shoot off into space, and it's saying kind of like, how far can we go until we can't go any further? It also examines parallel universes, the multiverse, which is, big sexy term right now, and really kind of explains it in wonderful detail with the analogy of a boiling pot. And as you boil water in a pot, you see the bubbles start to form. Well, imagine that every single one of those is a universe. That's the multiverse theory. And even then, you couldn't quantify that. So this idea that there are an unknowable number of versions of us out there in the world, or just universes out there. And that through this, we can start to get a sense of, again, what is our reality? Where are we in the world? And that does seem to be the focus of the book. Where are we in our world, in our lifespan, in our continuity? Human beings have been here. Now, experts are saying in this other audiobook I'm checking out, The Dawn of Everything, 200,000 years. So 200,000 years, the average lifespan of an animal, I don't know the answer to that, but where are we? So this is 200,000 years. This over here, this is where we are now. So how much in our time is gone, right? This or that, and things are finite. So if we're this far, how long is the bar? How much further can we go, right? It's just looking at all these pieces. So interesting book if you're into quantum physics, probabilities, math, all the things I wasn't good at in school. This might be the book for you. Cool guy to check out who helped further advance the doomsday theory is this guy right here who reviewed the book, J. Richard Gott III. A lot of cool people in here that the author mentions. And his chapter on artificial intelligence and the development of a super intelligence ultimately taking over and destroying human civilization. It's pretty captivating. Hope you enjoy it.